Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Impact Through Social Media podcast. This is the first episode in a series of a yet undefined number of episodes in which we will talk to business leaders, CEOs of impact companies, or just people that use social media to promote their business, to maybe promote themselves, and to promote some sort of positive impact on the world, either through their business or through other initiatives. Today, in the first episode, we talked to Koen Vanpraet, the CEO of Auric. And in this episode, we will talk about a couple of things, such as impactful initiatives that Auric has led over the past few years, Koen's personal use of social media, and finally, a very cool idea to improve LinkedIn. Let's get started. Can you quickly introduce yourself, Koen?
My name is Koen Vanpraet. I live in Belgium and I am the CEO and co-founder of a company called Auric.
And what does Auric do exactly?
So Auric is a B2B platform. So we provide embedded financial services to non-financial institutions. So we have a technology platform that includes payments, it includes loyalty as a technology, budget control, KYC, so there's different elements. And we offer those components to sports clubs, organizations, retail businesses, travel agencies. So any company that wants to include a financial product, it could be a payment card. So we issue MasterCard, debit cards, credit cards. We do QR payments. So any company that wants to include a payment product or a financial product, could be a bank account, could be a credit line, into their standard offer, we provide it as a white labeled service.
Okay, clear. And on your website, I read about some impactful initiatives that you have been doing over the past few years. Can you tell me a little bit about those, please?
So in effect, Auric is a trading name of a company called Bonsai. Bonsai is a registered licensed financial institution. So we operate under the license from the National Bank of Belgium that is passported across all European member states. Bonsai used to be a B2C payment app, a little bit like the KBC app, except that we did not force our members to open a bank account. So we're not a bank. We have all the licenses to be a bank, but we just decide not to be a bank. Bonsai has operated in Belgium for about 3 years. And so we targeted what we call the next generation, Gen Z millennials. By downloading the app, you could activate it by linking your bank account or multiple bank accounts. And then you could pay with the app. We issued a free digital MasterCard. You could pay anywhere in the world with your Apple Pay or your Google Pay on your phone with the card. And every time you paid, we collected a token. The token was saved. And when you had 10 tokens, we planted a tree for our members. So over the years, we have planted more than 700,000 trees for our members.
Impressive. Are you still doing something similar now?
Yes. So basically, we took Bonsai. So Auric is the flip of Bonsai. So Bonsai was a B2C initiative. B2C in Belgium is difficult. It's a small market. Your addressable market is small and it's highly capital intensive. We never got to that kind of like critical 100,000 actual recurring users. We had about 100,000 members and we had about 15, sometimes 20,000 recurring paying members, but that was not enough to keep Bonsai alive. And towards the end of 24, I decided to flip the company. We took the Bonsai platform, we broke it down into different components, and that's now what we offer as a white label solution to sport club. We signed a contract with Club Brugge, for instance, and the sustainability that's in the platform. Again, we now offer it to those companies as a technology. So it's like a Chinese menu. You come in, you decide, I want to issue a payment card. I want loyalty as a technology. I want data insights, which is extremely important because we get very rich data. I want to activate sustainability. I don't want to plant trees, but maybe I want to do something around clean oceans or something else. And that technology, that token technology, we offer it in the white label platform.
Okay, thank you very much. Super interesting. Now let's switch a little bit more to the social media side of the business. Why do you use social media?
We used to have more usage of social media because we were a B2C company. So we used TikTok, we used Instagram, Facebook, all sorts of things. Now that we are a B2B company, I'm a little bit more geared towards professional social media. So we don't do Facebook or Instagram for the time being. We're also not a brand. Auric is not a brand that wants to go out there. We're very much sitting at the back of our clients, so we're completely white labeled. However, when you look at LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn is a good channel because it's a professional channel. We work with HubSpot, so we have a website and we use the technology to see which visitors come to our website. Do they also visit the LinkedIn page we have? We are planning to start also a membership with X, the former Twitter company, but right now it's predominantly LinkedIn. The reason we use it is to get the activity known out there. We are a startup, so we started effectively in January this year. So it's important for me to use social media to create credibility through articles, white papers, but also testimonials. It could be very light, could be very professional, but it's an ongoing conversational initiative for which we use media.
And how do you differentiate between your company or your brand account and your personal LinkedIn account?
For me, they're intertwined, they're interlinked. I manage two pages. I have my personal page, and then we have the Auric page on LinkedIn. For the time being, I use Will only for my personal initiative. But when I post, typically it's either something about Auric, and then I post it via the Auric page. Then I would do a repost via my page, or the other way around. If it's an article I write myself with a certain subject, I post it, and then Auric would repost it. The reason is simple, that I just have far more followers than Auric has right now.
Yeah, true. And is that your main social media strategy, or do you have a broader strategy?
Once we go live with some key clients, then we will increase the social media strategy. Right now, I keep it relatively light because we don't have enough use cases yet. So it's really building up like the momentum. We expect to release a big press release around the Brugge very soon. And then we have a few other large contracts in our pipeline. This year, we want to sign 7 contracts. And every time we sign a contract, there's a press release. And then as you do that, you gradually step up like your presence.
Okay, I'm going to switch the topic a little bit just to bring Will forward a bit more now. Or you can, of course, have a different answer as well to this question. But what is your favorite social media tool?
Right now, I think I use 2 sources to help me out with articles. I use Will for shorter, fast blogs. Something comes into my mind, I go to Will, I use it, and then I refine it. So I don't just I never take over what Will writes to me. I ask Will, I ask to fine tune, then I take it, and then I post it on LinkedIn. And I use Will, more and more, to be honest with you. The other tool I use to help me with social media posting is Perplexity, which is another AI tool, but typically I use Perplexity for more long, complex texts or articles. And I think right now, the only channel we intensively use is LinkedIn.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. What makes you decide that Perplexity is better for longer articles and Will is better for the other one?
No, maybe better is not the right word. I think the interface is different, slightly different. I have the app on my MacBook. It's a paid membership as well, which I got for free with my mobile operator contract. I think it's just, I was already using Perplexity, and Will, then I came across Will, I activated it immediately. So I use both. I don't really have an exact science behind it.
Okay, fair enough. What do you think, or what is your main challenge with social media?
I think there's not one single main challenge. I think it's more not overdo it. So I'm very cautious on LinkedIn that it's not like a Facebook posting channel or an Instagram posting channel. I like to keep it professional. So I like to not spam too much. I think it needs to be interesting. And I'm quite conscious that I don't want to lose members or readers because you post too much or you post too much, sorry for the expression, bullshit. So I think the challenge is to keep it interesting, to find the right subjects that people actually read what you post.
And how do you try to find a solution for this? Or how do you know when it's the right subject, or where do you find the right subject?
That's a good question. We have different sources. We have newspapers, we have articles, we have industry posts. I'm subscribed to 3, 4, 5 type of online article providers that I get on a daily basis. I have a membership with McKinsey Insights that also posts research. Keeping ears out there. You go to events. I'm part of different associations. So there are certain recurring topics in the industry in which we operate. you tend to follow your clients, like the football clubs, what's going on in the sports space. So all of this gives you insight into potential articles. I have a lady in my team that always scans the public domain on keywords, what's out there. And if something is out there on which we have an opinion and we have a valid opinion and it's interesting, then we would react to it with an article or a blog or a post.
Yeah, interesting. Super nice strategy. One of the final questions. What is something that you would change about LinkedIn?
I think what strikes me, as I said earlier on, I think LinkedIn is starting to be used a little bit too much as an Instagram or a Facebook alike. I have no interest in posting on a daily basis what you do in the office, what you eat in the office. And so I think it needs to remain professional. There's definitely a lot of inbound from salespeople that want to reach out to me. So maybe a tool that helps filter what is relevant, what is not relevant could be interesting. But overall, yeah, I think those would be the ones.
Okay, super nice idea, because all the tools are always for the salespeople and
Correct.
there are no filters for the people on the receiving end.
Correct. Like having maybe a menu or a functionality that allows you to create almost like a filter in LinkedIn where you say, I only want to be contacted or reached by those type of companies, those type of people, or those type of questions, right? You know, you don't get multiple inbounds on a daily basis for people trying to sell you something.
Yeah, exactly. Final question then. Who are your favorite people to follow on social media?
Oh, I have different people. I follow people like Richard Branson, Gary Vaynerchuk. There's a few people out there that I typically read. I'd say leaders from large companies. So I follow politically exposed people like the Prime Minister of Belgium. I read about Trump on Twitter. So it's like they're not necessarily my favorite people. They're people I want to follow because they have an impact on the world. And then I keep on having a very strong network with the former teams that worked with me. Anything that those companies or those former colleagues post, I typically read.
Okay, thank you very much, Koen. That was a super insightful conversation.
Anytime. Anytime. Good luck with Will. And like I said to Koen as well, if you guys need more input or testimonials or whatever, just contact me. I like the product. I think it's a great initiative. I'll be keen to see how the product evolves, but happy to help.
Thank you very much.